Hey guys, this is Alex from NotCasuals, and we're back. It's been a long time. Today we're going to be playing Rise of Kingdom. It's a really fun game, and yeah, we wanted to make a short guide for the new players that are going to start playing this game and try to show you guys the tips and tricks, the mistakes to avoid, the things to look out for, and just to better prepare yourself so that you can have a good progression, you know. So before we start with this video, I just want to let you guys know that in the description there will be a timestamps on various topics that will be covered, and also so you can just skip ahead to the aspects that you feel you need information on, since this will be a lot of the basic stuff, so some of you guys may already know this. Alright, the first thing you need to know about this game is the commanders. The commanders are the leaders of your armies. You can unlock a bunch of commanders of different rarity levels, and they all have their strong points and their weak points and stuff like this. The most important thing about commanders is their skills. Each commander has 4 skills and then an expertise level when he's fully maxed. We'll get to that later. The essential part here is that when you level up your commander, you're going to unlock additional skills once he goes up in stars. The reason why you don't want to rush this is because the first skill is usually the best skill of every commander, and assigning skills is done by gathering sculptures of this commander. However, the sculptures, when you assign a skill point, is going to be random through all the already unlocked skills. So if I go in the skill tree, I have my 4 skills. Right now, let's say I could go above 5, which you cannot. Obviously, if I invest like the sculptures into a skill, it would choose one of these 4 skills randomly, and you do not want that at all. So what you do is that you control the level up and the number of stars of your commander to increase the level, to maximize, like to cap the level of the skills you want to focus on as much as possible. Every combatant commanders, their first skill is always their best skill by far. It is considered a massive mistake if you unlock, let's say, I'd bring him to level 20 super fast, and then I have these 2 skills, but they'd be both level 1. That would be terrible. So you always want to focus on one skill and maximize it to 5. And once that is done, then you can continue leveling up your commander to like level 20, and then you're going to have a button here, I'm going to swap here, to basically increase his number of stars, and that's going to unlock the next skill. So it's essential for you to maximize, to cap the first skill, and then you're going to increase the stars to 1 by 1 basically, and then you're going to cap his second skill, and so forth. Now you have to be careful, because some commanders have different skill priority, let's say. If I go, there's basically 2 types of commander, like 2 big families of commanders. There's the combatant commanders, which are most of the commanders in this game, and then there's the gatherers, like Sandok, for example. She's considered a gatherer. In my case, you can see I already made a mistake on this character, that I did not level her skills properly. For gathering commanders, their first skill is considered useless, because you're not going to use these commanders for combat. You're going to use them to gather resources on a map. Their second skill is the most important one. So in this case, how I should have leveled this character was to level her until this second skill is unlocked, so to level 10, to increase her star to 2, to have the second skill. And then I should have used all the sculptures I have of this commander specifically to get this skill to level 5. Now you're gonna say, well, you have 2 skills unlocked, so that means it would be random between these 2 skills, and you're absolutely right. So, but the chances of getting a point and the right skill, the one that I want for gathering, would be 50% chance. The way I leveled her, I have 4 skills unlocked, so I basically have 25% chance to land on the right skill. So that's a problem. In one of our next videos, we'll also cover the optimal skill path and talent tree of every commander, but we'll do that later on. So one of the other things I wanted to talk about was the commander's cultures. There's basically two types of commander's cultures, one of them being character specific, and then there are the universal cultures. It's essential and it's so important that you save your universal commander's cultures, these ones, for much later on. Never spend them on the starting commanders. The game, you will unlock basically like as the game goes on, as your server goes on, you will unlock new commanders. One of the first commander that you actually unlocked is Richard. Richard comes about, I think it's 1 month or so after your kingdom has begun, and he's a really good commander. Um, so you could, if you wanted, spend some sculptures on him, but personally, I'm not doing that. I'm saving my sculptures for another commander, which is called Wai Song Yi, which will arrive on the kingdom at about 90 days or so. So the next topic I want to cover is regarding research. In this game, your technology is going to evolve a lot based on the research that you're going to do. There's two types of research: economic technology and then military technology. You want to focus as much as possible on the economic technology first because that's what's going to set you up for the future, basically. One of the first thing that you should try to aim for is writing. Writing increases your research speed. This is basically going to speed up everything that you try to queue for the technology tree. Ideally, in like a perfect world where your kingdom is not too much at war early on, you will want to get engineering and mathematics because it increases your building speed and research speed, these two skills together. And that's really important to, as it gets very time consuming to build and research in this game. So I would try as much as possible to get these two skills, these two technologies, as high as possible before you start going really investing yourself into the military tree. Obviously, for the military tree, if you're in a kingdom that has a lot of war, you might have to invest yourself a little bit, at least to go get the tier 2 units and possibly even the tier 3 units, which are not that far up the tree. It requires a small amount, a decent amount of investment, but it should be done within like 2 or 3 weeks. One of the most important part, in my opinion, is to be very patient before getting tier 4 units. They require a lot of time, of research time. Basically, to get there is going to take you a while, and once you're even going to get this type of unit, it takes 21 days of research to unlock. Now you're going to be like, oh wow, 21 days of research, that's like insane. It's a lot, like it's almost a month, you know? But it's really not that bad once you consider that you're going to have writing to 10%, and then you're going to have the the mathematics. So it's 25% research speed, you know? That's going to be a lot of help. So one of the other things that you can do to speed up further your buildings, your research, and stuff like this is going to be through the Alliance Center. For this to be unlocked, obviously you need to be inside one of the Alliance, which is extremely recommended. And once you go to the Alliance Help section, you can basically press Help to contribute and speed up the buildings and research of other players. And by doing so, you're directly impacting the progression and speeding up things. And also, one of the important part about this is that you always ensure that you have maximum helps on your research or your buildings before you decide to speed up a building. The Alliance Center is the building, one of the most important buildings in your whole city. It should be the second building that's always the highest level. Your city hall, is the one that determines the maximum level of your buildings. So this should be the first highest level building, obviously, and then it should always be the Alliance Center. Now, obviously, your alliance will be able to support the technology of the research and the speed ups, and they will be able to increase the speed up time that you receive whenever players press the help button. But it's not only like a number of seconds, it's also like a percentage of the total time the building will require to build, basically. If I go to help, you can see that I've reduced the build time by 13 days and 19 hours. That's huge. So it's always essential for you to wait to get all the helps before you decide to speed up a building. So you can go here and then you click the speed up, and then obviously you want to wait as much as possible. Also, there are two types of building that you would really like to make them upgrade fast, basically. These buildings are the troop trainings buildings and the research, the academy. Um, Mainly because if it's building, it's upgrading, you cannot research while you're doing that. It's the same for the troop trainings. If this building was upgrading to level 24, for example, in my case, I wouldn't be able to train troops at the same time. So if you speed them up, I mean, you would basically allow yourself to train your troops faster or to start your research faster. So it's like a double effectiveness type of thing, you know? You're not wasting time upgrading. So whenever you do these buildings, try to speed them up after receiving all the helps you can do. Alright, the next point I want to talk about is regarding the gathering commanders. And you basically want to get them, let's take Gaius for example. You basically want to bring them to level 37. The reason why you would want to do that is to get this skill tree, this talent tree, as much as possible and get the supported gathering tools. For every commander that are gathering commanders, except the legendary ones, you want to rush to 37. You can spend your XP tomes and everything in there. It doesn't really matter, because the sooner you can get to 37, the sooner you can get superior tools and all these really useful these four nodes that give increase your gathering speed for specific resources, and then this one that for all kind of resources, which is huge. So use your XP tomes to rush these commanders to 37. It's not the end of the world for commanders that are of this rarity, like if they're green, if they're blue, even the purple ones. It's not the end of the world if you cannot follow what I was talking about earlier about the leveling the second skill first, because you're gonna get a lot of value on the town tree. So like Gaius, like I rushed, it was one of the first that I rushed to 37, just so that you could get all these town trees. And it was only your primary commander, because eventually at level 20 you unlock a secondary commander that can come in your march on your army. So it's only the primary commander that benefits the town tree. So you want your highest level gatherer commander to be 37 and to be leading the march. Now in my case, I mean 37 is the optimal one, but you can go a bit higher, but I don't recommend it unless like you just have a lot of XP tomes or you just have nothing else to level up or whatever. You can get this modified axle thing, but it's not part of the tree. Like ideally, do I have a commander that's 37? I do. I would go without this. You can do it later on, it doesn't really matter. And I also would not do it on legendary commanders, because legendary commanders take a lot more time to level up. Alright, and finally, just one of the last topic I want to cover real quick is regarding your gems. The gems in this game are premium currency in the sense that you can either buy them or you can receive some of them, like on doing daily quests and stuff like this, or participating in events that you win, stuff like that. One of the most important thing for a low spender or like a free-to-play player to focus their gems on is their VIP level. It would be extremely important that you reach VIP level 6 as soon as possible. And the main reason for this is obviously you get a lot of VIP exclusive buffs, which are going to help you just do your research, do your action point, building speed, and stuff like that. It's just really useful buffs. But also the unlock second building queue. Having a second builder is essential, is going to help you progress so much more, so much faster. So invest your gems up until you reach VIP 6 for sure. The other reason is that every day when you connect, when you play the game at the reset of the daily stuff, you're going to get a free chest. For VIP 6, this chest is not that good. However, if you reach VIP 7, which is honestly not that far ahead, like it's Every day you log in, you receive VIP coins. You can transfer your own gems into VIP points, so it's really useful to do that. And at VIP 7, you're going to unlock the Epic Commander's Culture, basically, the universal ones, that you're going to receive one of them every day. So that's really useful, and getting VIP 7 as soon as possible is really a good idea in my opinion. Now for the free-to-play players, I mean, you're going to have to participate in events, you're going to have to log in daily to receive and do your daily quest to receive some gems. This last chest give 100 gems, so that's really useful. And what you could always do if you're like a low spender is get the 30-day gem supply. This is probably by far the best way to spend money in the game if you want to spend money. It's a 30-day bundle, and every day you're going to get 650 gems. You're also going to receive 2,200 once you buy the bundle. So this is a lot of gems over a period, like over a month basically, and I really recommend it. It's a small amount to pay to have a lot of help and progress in the game. Now, one of the other things that you can spend money on, and right now I'm on a different account because I don't have this on my account since I already bought it, is the Growth Fund. The Growth Fund is going to reward you gems for reaching specific milestones with your city hall. Now, the Growth Fund obviously it gives a small amount of gems early on, which is not that much. But the value where you're going to get a lot for this bundle is around your city hall level 23 and 25. It's a shit ton of gems. And I definitely recommend this bundle. It's $21 Canadian, I guess. So I guess it's a bit less for in USD. And it's a lot of value, but it does require you to reach City Halls 25, which would take a certain amount of time. It takes a decent amount of time. Alright guys, this concludes the first tips and tricks video and the way to avoid making big mistakes and just setting you up with the game and to be able to easily progress. And we're going to be back with other videos of this kind of tips and tricks and other good stuff to invest on in the coming days, coming weeks. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. And finally, I wanted to close this video just by saying thank you to all our previous subscribers, people that have been following us for such a long time, and also to new players, new viewers that are just discovering this channel. The goal here is really to come back strong on YouTube and make as many videos as possible and really build a community. We're going to have also a Discord server soon set up for everyone if you guys want to join us. And yeah, just make sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell if you want to see our content daily as much as possible. And yeah, thanks again, guys.